Hello and welcome to tomorrow's headlines today. I'm your host, Robin Cunningham with Fireside Grace Ministries, and I have quite a few things to share with you guys, including maybe a little explanation of where we've been for the past 2 weeks or so. But first, let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll get into the show. Hello, welcome back to everybody. I see we have a whole 0 watchers right now. So go ahead and like and subscribe right down here on the old like and subscribe. Rumble, if you're watching on Rumble, like us, follow us on Rumble. You know what's interesting is we don't do anything to promote Rumble, and we get like maybe 10, 15 subscribers a day on Rumble. And yet on YouTube, we are at 3,000 some odd subscribers on YouTube, and we have to really work hard to get subscribers. And tell me there's not any channel suppression going on there. Plus, you see all the stuff that's going on with Twitter, with Elon's exposing and all this stuff that we had already prophesied was going to happen months ago before he even thought about purchasing Twitter. So all that stuff is coming to pass now. Also, there's one thing. I don't know if you all been keeping up, but there's a Supreme Court case that hit the Supreme Court. Something Braun versus something. And you need to check that out because it literally calls for all of the things that had prophesied that would take place when things were, taken care of, so to speak. I can't say the words. We can't say the words on YouTube because we'll get a strike. And we just got our first strike removed off of our channel just recently. You like our coffee cup? I literally had somebody a couple weeks ago question if I was drinking coffee in my coffee cup. They said, it looks like your cup is empty and you're not drinking anything in there. There's coffee in there. There's coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I quit drinking alcohol a long time ago. It's just coffee. It's all I really drink. It's decaf coffee. Actually, this isn't decaf coffee. This is Constitutional Grounds from my friend Brighton owns the coffee company. So if you want to support a Christian who's a good person, just doing the best he can, Constitutional Grounds. He's not endorsing me or paying me to say that. I'm just saying it because we're friends and I like his coffee. And I've been drinking it for a while. I have a ton of different coffees I drink. And so if you've made it on my list of coffees to drink, then there you go. Delicious. Really good. Like really tastes good. Like first thing in the morning for that first cup of coffee kind of feel that's Constitutional Grounds. Or maybe it's Substantial Grounds, but I think it's Constitutional Grounds. I don't know. We took it out of the bag and my wife labeled it for me. Hello, I think your name is August. Should put some Baileys in it. No, I don't drink. Just saying. All right. Well, I have a lot to talk about. So we weren't here for the last 2 weeks, as you can probably tell from my voice. It sounds like I have a cold. We have influenza type A. It is what it is. It's not as bad as COVID, but it sure feels like COVID, to tell you the truth. Except you can actually breathe with the flu versus COVID. COVID, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even get my breath. And then I went and played saxophone on YouTube Live while I couldn't breathe because why not, right? Okay. My dad got sick. He was had real bad cellulitis. His legs were completely purple all the way up to his knees. And running a fever for a week or so, and none of the antibiotics were working. So they were doing round after round of antibiotics, which is not really that unusual, but still very serious. Seems like he's in renal failure. He's in congestive heart failure. But good news is he says he's a Christian now. And I'm not going to question him very much and make him feel condemned or anything, because I'm just happy that he says he's a Christian. Because that means that I get to see him if he should pass away anytime now. When I get to heaven, he'll be there. So that makes me happy, It's the best news you can get, isn't it, as a Christian? So we took that time to meet with different ministry partners as we traveled across the country, literally from Texas to New York. It's like 1,500 miles. And then meeting all of our ministry partners on the way back added on about 4,000 miles. So that was that was something. But we got to meet some people that we really enjoy their company. And if we had and knew of more people in the places we were going through, we would probably met all y'all too. It would have been awesome. But, you know, it is what it is. Next time we go out, we'll let you know, and you can track us and come meet us at some time. Of course, we want to try and, you know, limit the amount of people we expose our children to and stuff. You know, it could be some weirdos out there and dangerous stuff. We don't want to do that. But anyway, here we are. It's almost Christmas, and we're still trying to bless a single mom and her 3 kids for Christmas. So there's that. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the tomorrow's headlines today. If you would like to partner with us, we greatly appreciate it, especially around this time of year. We like to help a lot of people, and I know things are tight for everybody. I have a really good feeling about this Supreme Court case that's at the Supreme Court right now, and that's all I can say about that. But what you do need to do is you need to pray. If you want to see that thing get passed, if you want to see things change by be around or right before Christmas, you need to pray about that. You need to declare what will happen to this nation. You need to step in the gap and intercede. It's your last chance, because that could change things in weeks, because it only takes 4 justices. Doesn't even take a majority. It only takes 4 justices to say, let's do this. You don't have to have 5. 4 justices. That's it. And that's all I'll say about that, because I'm sure in the very near future, when that actually hits the news, you will hear this case. It's Brown versus something. You'll hear it being talked about, because what I'm going to tell you in this is that there's going to be a second SCOTUS leak this year within a month. Okay. All right. Let's jump into the tomorrow's headlines today. If you'd like to support us, it's firesidegrace.com/partner with us. Brandy's Venmo is Brandy-Cloninger, scrolling on the bottom there. PayPal is Reformers Church with no apostrophe, because we don't believe in apostrophizing. And mail is 2145 North Josey Lane, Suite 116-501, Carrolton, Texas, 75006. And our crypto info is down in the description as well. So go check that out. Remember to like and smash the ever-loving crap out of that like button. All right. Who do you guys think we should interview on here next? Who would y'all like to see us interview? Who would you like to see us try and get? And don't say Amanda Grace, because we've been trying for like a year to get Amanda Grace. We've all but given up hope on that. But one day soon, maybe we'll have her on here. I think maybe Diana Larkin would be a good one to have on. We've had her. Brandy did interview her a little while ago. She's fun in Bull Pony. I'll pray about that. I don't even know who that is. All right. Watch the Hudson River. A sunken treasure will be discovered in the midst of the Hudson River, some kind of lost treasure from hundreds of years ago. Not sure exactly what the treasure was. I had a feeling it had something to do with a British battleship or something like that, or a trader's ship. It was something to do with Britain, but I'm not sure if it was like the trading company or something like that. But the Lord said it will be a sign of things that were thought to be lost that will be uncovered by the son of Judah, which Hudson means the son of Judah. All right. Next, embarrassing footage of Kamala Harris will emerge when no one thought cameras were rolling and mics were not supposed to be hot. The mics were hot and the cameras were live, and she will say something that will absolutely betray her and her party, and she will have there's nothing that she could do about it, because they didn't think it was hot. So watch the Hudson River. Something's going to be coming out of there. Now, a second SCOTUS leak is about to come out of the SCOTUS, obviously, which is going to cause a big issue, big concern, big safety concerns. Things are about to happen in the Supreme Court. You need to pray and intercede. Let me just take a look at what this case is. Like, I'm just going to say it to you. The case is Brunson versus Adams. It was accepted to the Supreme Court. It was accepted. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you don't know what it is, you need to go and look it up, because every single thing, almost everything that they're asking in there lines up with what we had prophesied, what I'd prophesied over a year ago about what you would see happen. Like live last year on Window into the Supernatural, prophesied to Diana Larkin. We did a live Tomorrow's Headlines Today, and I said that there would be a second vote for the president. Second vote. And nobody wanted to receive that. But this case is asking for that. And that's all I'll say, because I don't want to get in trouble in the future. The Holy Spirit tells us when we can and can't say certain things. And the reason we keep using YouTube is because, hey, there's no censorship on Rumble, which we love. And we get great growth on Rumble without even trying. But YouTube, we can still reach more people. Okay. So check that out. I'll check out Chris Reed. I don't know who he is, but I'll look him up and I'll pray about him. And we'll see. Ask Brandy what she discerns about it, and we'll see. Okay. So the second SCOTUS leak, you have to pray because it will put SCOTUS's injustice in trouble. So we've already been saying this for over a year now, for about 2 years, that at this time we needed to pray for the safety of the justices, right? So we need to continue to pray. No on Steve Purcell. Let's see. Let's get back into this. All right. Next, the Lord said, watch Brazil as their protests begin to escalate. Pray for a peaceful resolution in which war does not have to take place, because the Lord said it could go either way. If we don't pray and intercede, there will be a revolution in Brazil. So there could be a peaceful transition where Jair Bolsonaro makes a comeback, or there could be a not peaceful transition. And the choice is up to the church, that we make the prayers, that we pray and intercede for that nation and that country, and that it will be peaceful and that things will come over. Also, Bolsonaro may flee for a short while, but he will return. And what I had a sense of while I was praying was that he would flee to America, actually, where there were like-minded individuals to try and recoup and get help. And that would be something that would be for his own safety, and really in the long run would be better. And then people would ask him, well, have you considered becoming an American citizen and running for some kind of office? Obviously he could never run for president here, but I think he could actually run for some office. Next. All right, let's see here. Threats against the life of Benjamin Netanyahu will arise as a bounty is placed on his head from the Middle Eastern nations. This will be considered an act of war if it is not recalled. That is what will specifically be said, that in doing this, it is an act of war to put an open, valid hit on a price on the president of a foreign nation's head. That is an act of war. That's what he will say. And the Lord said, we must pray for peace in Israel and the safety of Netanyahu for his people. And I throw in there, just ask the Lord to go in there, heal the land, to give them back their original borders, which that's going to happen. It says in the Bible that they get back their original borders. And people say, well, how's that going to happen? Because that means I'll have to take parts of Iraq and all these other countries. If the Lord said it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So there will be a war, and they will take back territory, and they will rededicate the temple, and it will be under Netanyahu. So just think about that. But you need to pray for him. You need to pray for peace. One thing that the Lord told me, this was on the last video, and he just reminded me to say this, was that they were going to find a chamber that was a chamber as part of the original temple, where they kept things stored in like a vault of sorts. And in that, they would find ashes of leftover sacrifices, and they would be able to use those ashes to mix into sacrifice and dedicate the temple to the Lord. And of course, the Lord doesn't accept the burnt sacrifices anymore. He doesn't accept that. He only accepts Jesus. So that's it's just going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But you can have a pretty good sense that, if the temple's being built, we're fast approaching the end of days. I believe the ark has been found, and it is on Ararat. Okay, so anyway, let me get back into this. Stocks and crypto markets are about to recover, and I felt like that was within 3 or 4 months. I mean within 3 or 4 months, not like it would take in 3 months or 4 months, but in the time span of 1, 2, 3, and 4 months. Does that make sense? That you would see a massive recovery in that quick time span, in that quick time frame. I feel like it would start at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. And, we're already at the end of this year. So obviously it'd be within weeks. So pay attention to that. All right. Watch as certain whales begin to invest again on large platforms in the weeks ahead. So something's coming very big that really inspires people to reinvest in America and cryptocurrency in their funds, that they know that there's going to be growth and all kinds of things like that. So that's going to happen. And when that happens, you're going to see people dumping large amounts of money all at once into crypto platforms. Now, some people are going to get scared and think about, this is too good to be true. I got to pull out this, that, or the other. And all I can say is there's going to be a sustained leveling off. It's going to go real high and it's going to sustain. You'll see a max, a height higher than $65,000 for Bitcoin. And it'll go a little bit over that up into the $70,000, $80,000 range and kind of maybe a little higher. I know Manuel said that it would go. He saw it over 100,000. I haven't seen that, but this just because the Lord hasn't shown it to me doesn't mean it's not true. But it could go that high, and then it's going to be a leveling off, and then a little bit of a drop down, and things are going to level off and kind of hover for a while, and then steadily increase and grow. And when that happens, the rest of the cryptos are going to continue to grow as well. And what this will be as, you're going to see these same people. You saw these people on FTX, these big whales on FTX that were dumping money, and then they all tried to get out, and their funds have been frozen, from what I understand, so that they can't escape. So that because they don't have enough money to pay everybody, I guess it's kind of like a bank where the bank doesn't actually keep your money; they go in and invest it for you. So to keep your money safe, so they make money off of your money. Where's the risk in that? Anyway, that's just a very small-minded view of banking in my eyes. Anyway, uh, when you see them, they will be able to get some of their money out of FTX. Eek, I shouldn't have said that. But when you see them start putting it into cryptocurrency again, but on different platforms, watch the people that are still there right now. That's all I have to say about that. All right. The Lord said Mar-a-Lago will be a temporary White House. It won't be the new White House. You could say the new White House. It will be a temporary White House and a time of transition. That's all that I have to say about that. The Lord showed me that there will be a plan to terminate Elon Musk. I really don't think that should be a surprise to anybody. No, I won't repeat any prophecies about Zimbabwe bond notes. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to repeat something. All right. There was a plan to terminate Elon Musk that would be exposed, and he will increase his security. Now, we need to pray for him and pray that he is safe and protected, because the stuff that he's going to bring out plays into the indictments and arrests and criminal charges and so forth that you will be seeing within the next months. All right. Let's see. The amount of personal information being collected on social media networks and sold will be exposed. In response, Twitter, they will actually be the ones, if you know who I'm talking about, who will cease the most data collection, meaning they will stop the most data collection. And they'll tell everybody at the same time, they tell everybody, hey, this is what's been happening. We found this. Your stuff has been being sold. We're not doing it anymore. Stay here. So people will stay. Okay. But when this happens, other apps will not. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube will lose large amounts of user, dropping their value, stock price, their users, etc., significantly. And some of these collection efforts will even lead to criminal investigation. Okay. Now, let me take a quick drink of coffee here. I have the flu. I'm doing my best to keep it together here. I'm almost over it, though. You know what's funny? I know it's not God's will to get for people to be sick. But I had a dream, and I was in a hospital. And the queen of the hospital came and told me, she said, Jesus has already heard your prayers. Your family has been healed. We weren't even sick at the time. Well, then we got sick. I just thought it was funny that it was the queen of the hospital. Throat, be healed now in Jesus' name. I may have to just sit here and swallow my spit for a second so I can, excuse me, so I can actually talk here. Sorry. Oh, my notes just deleted, and they're back. All right, here we go. A prophecy concerning the future of America in the months ahead. Woe to those who decree unrighteous decrees, who write misfortune which they have prescribed, to rob the needy of justice and to take what is right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. What will you do in the day of punishment? So this is what is going to be coming to America. And this is not the first time that I prophesied this. This is from Isaiah 10:1. But the Lord specifically, Isaiah 10:1-3, the Lord specifically said that to me while I was in prayer. He said, Isaiah 10:1. And it was, woe to those who decree unrighteous decrees, who write misfortune which they have prescribed. And then I just kept reading. And that's what, obviously, he's going to bring judgment on the nation, but it's not going to be judgment like you think. Like, somebody was upset because Brandy and I have been praying, and we saw that America was coming into a time of trial and testing for the next 4 or 5 years or 7 years or so. And they thought that that meant that, you know, the SCOTUS wasn't going to happen, 45 coming back wasn't going to happen. What exactly do you think is going to happen when somebody comes in and starts rolling heads, starts coming against the deep state? What do you think is going to happen when someone comes in and turns the world upside down? Do you not think that there's going to be trial and testing with that? And this isn't to take away hope. This is to let you know the things you've been praying for are going to be answered. But you have to understand that the things that you have been praying for still have consequences. Because when judgment comes on the unrighteous and the wicked, it is going to affect your country. I'm not saying that to be harsh or sound judgmental or critical, but I'm trying to give you hope to understand we still have to keep praying, because there is still, even after the big thing happens, there is still a battle to be fought. Our life as prayer intercessors doesn't end just because one big prophecy came to pass. Because look at our Fireside Grace website. On our blog page, we have somebody who literally just works for us to do the prophecy fulfilleds. And we have prophecy fulfilleds just coming and coming and coming and coming. If we just stopped prophesying and stopped praying after we got one big one right, like say January 2nd, 2020, I prophesied that Roe versus Wade would be overturned, right? Imagine I stopped prophesying June 24th, 2022, and stopped praying when that happened. Why? It's no different. We still have to fight. We still have to battle. But a time of trial and testing that will determine the direction the world goes in. That's what we're coming into. Okay? And that concludes my tomorrow's headlines today for today. I told the Lord that he could say whatever he want, and I had no idea that I was going to say that. So you like that sign back there? It says, you are worthy of being loved. And then back here it says, you are kind, you are important, you are strong, you are smart, and most of all, you are loved. That's the message we want to give people. That's how we want people to feel when you meet us. Like, I have value. They actually care. That's what we want you to think. That's what we want you to feel. We want you to feel like you're a part of the family. Like when we met people while we were traveling on our way back home, we met several different ministry partners, which was awesome. And one of the number one things that we heard was, it just feels like we've known you forever and we've never even met you. And that's what I love. When we do partner meetings and stuff like that, that's the number one thing we get is that they say you guys are reachable. You're interactive and you talk to people. That's what we love. That's what we want people to think and feel. And we've been growing and growing and growing. We've been stifled a little bit. YouTube has punished us a lot. As you've seen, Twitter has been um, showing us that the suppression of conservative voices was a very real thing. And the depths of it are beyond what we know. There's some tweets that Elon took down that were discussing the depths of that. And that's what's happening right here. We believe. It's our opinion. That's what's happening right here. Like people will say to us, you have so many prophecies that have come to pass. It's like, every day there's a new prophecy that's come to pass. We've got literally we have a person doing prophecy fulfilled for us. And it's just, blog after blog after blog after blog after blog after blog of prophecy fulfilled. And they're like, we don't understand why you don't have at least 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we're like, oh, we do. We do. Makes perfect sense. It's called YouTube. I'm sure if we tried to promote Rumble, we would probably grow very rapidly on Rumble. But you know what? We're going to let the Lord do what the Lord's going to do. He's told us to stay here on YouTube for a while. We do have a Rumble. It is Fireside. Here's the only way you can find it, really. Because we have one that's was supposed to be Brandy's personal thing. And somehow I messed that up. And it's like Brandy 1717 or something like that. That's not our Fireside Grace channel. It's Fireside. It's rumble.com/Fireside Grace. Okay. Rumble.com/Fireside Grace. The Supreme Court case is, hold on. It is Brunson versus Adams. And they accepted it. So they accepted it to go to trial, but it doesn't actually have to go to trial. It only needs 4 justices to do what it's asking to do. And that is immediate reinstatement of somebody and removal of something like 324 people to be arrested until a new election can happen. I'm going to have to delete this off of YouTube right now. All right. Love you guys. Be blessed. And I will talk to you. Let's see. What does it mean when a prophet touches my cold feet in a dream? It is important. It means that you've grown cold in walking what you're supposed to walk in. And there's a prophet that's warming up your feet, so to speak, so that you will do what the Lord has asked you to do. I probably should have maybe been a little more, a little less blunt about that. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Be blessed. And I will see you next time. Remember, if you want to partner with us, all the information is right down here. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, and we'll see you next time. Until next time, if we aren't on here for a week again, just know we will be on Rumble, and we will be posting on Rumble. And it is rumble.com/Fireside Grace. So go and follow us there. Love you guys. Be blessed. See you next time. Bye.